so hot here. It's about 30 degrees outside, which is roughly 87 degrees Fahrenheit. So I decided to bring the show inside so I can be in air conditioning, because as you can see, this is layers and layers and layers because I use very, very diluted acrylic paint with the water. So I need to do a lot of layers and creates also a little bit more 3D effect. After quite a few layers, I actually started using my finger. I used a lot of rusty brown, a little bit of black, and then I thought it was blue, but it came out as turquoise, which actually blended in perfectly. There is very, very little grain in this specific guitar in the mahogany, so I started ignoring the grain because it's not coming and picking up the paint pigments. So I'll just, with my finger, or if you want to wear a glove, you can just, add here and there a bit of dabbing. Quite satisfied with the result of the trick of using eyeshadow, because what I did is I put a little bit of paint, a little bit of eyeshadow, which is that bronze glitter, just to put it in a few spots, not everywhere. And once it's dry overnight, the next day, whenever there's actually no glitter coming off, so that's really cool. The only thing is that because I use quite a lot of water to create the own stain, mainly on the sides and on this part as well, the wood starts lifting. So we had a little bit of a roughness here, so Louis just used a bit of sandpaper, a 400, just to very gently smoothen it out. So I will make this part darker again. So I only did the front, and now I will continue with doing the back. So now both sides are painted, and I have decided not to use the carbon paper because my carbon paper was just not big enough to cover the skull. So I just used the scissors to cut out the whole outline, including with the eyes. And then the reception once again came to our rescue with this tape. So, and here I'll just make little loops. So I've done already this whole part, and then it can remain nicely in place while I do the outline. So now I can just do the outline carefully. Okay, so the outline is done, so I can remove it. Even if it takes a little bit of the paint off, it actually doesn't matter, because we're gonna put copper leaf on it anyway. That actually didn't take anything off, not even the glitter. Haha! And so now, and that's a little piece here, needs to remove. Now we have the outline. I don't know if you can see that, because I did obviously very subtle outline of the skull. And now this whole part, I will put the leafing size on it, which is that special glue. The first time we're gonna use this. I'll just put a little bit on here. And now this whole area needs to be glued. Obviously I will go a little bit over the line so that the line will not be visible. So now the whole skull part has been covered carefully with the sizing, which is the special glue. And now we need to wait 25 minutes to let it dry, and then we can apply the copper leaf. So that's gonna be an exciting part. Now this is the most exciting part, is to apply the copper leaf onto our guitar. I mean, we shouldn't be saying our guitar, it's Louis' guitar. But there's a little bit of glue in the holes. So I'm just using a toothpick to remove the glue so that the screws can still fit in here. Okay, so before I touch the copper leaf, I will just apply a bit of baby powder on my hands, so the leaf doesn't stick too much. Okay, so now I'll take my first sheet, and wherever this size, the copper will just stick to it. And then wherever it's not on the side, you can just remove it and put it on the next piece. You can either use your fingers, or you can use a toothbrush, a paintbrush, whatever you think is easier. I quite like using my fingers for all the jobs. And I'll just take an extra. It's super, super fine. And here I'll apply another one. Just rub it off here. And there's some excess I can take and just puzzle around. And it's just actually very easy. Immediately see that it's sticking exactly where we want it to be. The most difficult job is to actually put the size exactly where you want it. There we are. You see there, I have a small piece that wasn't covered. See if there's any stickiness that I didn't cover. And I can always keep this for another project. Or if we decide to put more copper leaf on the rest of the guitar. To be seen. Just remove wherever I need. This piece I didn't cover with size because that will be fully hidden by the pieces that belong to the guitar. So now I can just rub it in with my fingers. And it's got a beautiful, beautiful texture, and it's super shiny. Not too worried about these pieces. And if there would be a small piece that's not covered, very easy to solve, just a little bit of size, and then you start again. Very important to wait 25 to 30 minutes before you do this, otherwise the glue is way too wet, and the wetness of the glue will actually come out and remove the shininess of the leaf. So now we don't have a lot at our disposal, so I'll just use my makeup brush to now remove the excess and see if everything is according to plan. with the copper on my cheeks. That will be the reason. But see, the outline is actually really nice. See the line of the eyes. Also rub it in with my fingers. See, we've got this little ditch here that was part of the skull. Decided to make the teeth a little bit longer than the original design, so it almost touches the end of the guitar. Maybe let me try it with the smaller brush here. I'm brushing the teeth. It's a healthy skull. The eye properly yet. Maybe I can try with a toothbrush. Grooves. Just be careful with the toothbrush because it's adding a few grooves into the leaf. And here I think this piece will have to redo. And probably sand it down and then redo that outline. More properly. Then that will just let it dry for a day or overnight, and then we can seal it with shellac.